Welcome back. It's been a little while, but we finally have some new trades to take a look at. Some things that are showing over on the pound JPY. We're gonna get in and analyze these. Check out some of the trades that were sent over to the Discord. But happy Chinese New Year! It looks like today is the day. I think I've seen something about that. It's the year of the dragon? How? I don't know. But anyways, it's also the start of Ramadan. Happy Ramadan. There is a setup somewhere on this chart here. You could see over on YouTube. I'm live on YouTube right now. If you're over here on TikTok, year of the fire horse. Look at that. I'm live on YouTube. If you're here on TikTok, go over to YouTube. Just look at the link in the bio. Tune in. But we have this setup. I ended up taking this. So I have the slave account. I have the master account, which I switched up the order a bit. But we can see this here is the slave account running with some profit on this. I just have to add the markups to this. Discord has some stuff. Discord really just has this trade that I ended up taking. About yesterday 4 p.m., 3 p.m., somewhere around there. GJ trade opened. This trade, we did have some very small trades too. This one basically break even, made 9 pips, 0.15% in that trade for 2 full hours. Let me pull this back up real quick. But yeah, we came through with a few trades. I think there's 18 pips. That's the 9 pip winner. Here we have a loss, negative 0.40%, 23 pip loss. But nonetheless, we're powering through with the trades. We're in this trade, we took a risk of 0.79% and stop loss of 52 pips. We're going to go through and at least cover this position now and put Alexa stop. Yeah, we chit chat later. For sure. If you want to get into trading, just go to the link in my page and tap in. There's a free guide there. Get started, practice, learn, get familiar, and you'd be on your way. But we have this setup here. Let me just show what we have. So trade was taken and then we put in our stop loss just immediately. Just because this trade is taken manually, you can see that the Fibonacci indicator has been more improved. The Fibonacci indicator is still available to everyone on the website, and it now, at least on whatever time frame you choose, in this case it's set to the daily, we get the daily plots for the resistances and the supports in the relevant area, and we can see that we have a bias dashboard in the top left corner. Covers a bunch of things which it already did before, but now it contains the bias. The bias automatically updates. This will help with learning step by step, at least how I look at the market. It shows you that there's been a rejection of the support, and for that reason the trend goes bearish. The trend goes bearish, and for that reason we took the trade. This is GJ on the 4-hour time frame. This is a 4-hour rejection. whatever, we put the stop loss in on a level right above the high, covering that if prices to get to that area were wrong and we want to be out of the trade. At least be willing to get wrong. Because, you know, this thing was working, eh? You lost everything on blackjack. Blackjack is a tough game too. What do we have here? So yeah, this is basically where we stand with the trade. I'm gonna go through and make an update. I don't know what we have here. So I've been looking at this chart not too long now. I was just looking at it and I'm like, looks like we have some potential setups coming soon. I could get out of this trade, which I may, depending on how we ultimately close for the 1 hour candle. You stood on a 16. Mod. So yeah, we're up 130 pips on this position, about 160 bucks, but we could cover this position as it is and look for price to retrace a bit more into the end of the day up to that 127 and 161 level. I know it looks like there's a lot of levels on the chart right now, but that's just to help give me an average. I'm working on something. This is just to give me an average. You can see that we do have some key areas right around up into this area where we actually have that daily support. Let me zoom out a little more. Daily support levels that we've seen from the other time frames is still plotted on these lower time frames. So you can see there's an area of confluence up there. So I took the trade short from there, stop loss other side of the zone, and we could honestly retrace. We've already made new lows for the day. Today has been a progressive day for the downtrend sellers. Price has made a new low. Regardless if it closes down there or not, it's made a new low. So price by all means can retrace. This candle, we have 66 minutes left before the 1 hour candle close. I would like to see the end of that, but I can at least move this trade to break even and close it by the end of the hour if need be. And then I'd look to re-enter. This is the point. I can look to re-enter this trade up in these areas. Let me zoom in a little. The 127 level, 161 level. As you see, we also have some type of gap here in the candles. It's a little wild line there. Something like that. Kind of in confluence with the 161 level. But I could look to just take profits on this here, re-enter there. Because our entry is essentially right up in that area. But like we were just experiencing 3 hours ago, well, that was quite a bit ago, but 3 hours ago, we're pushing down to all-time lows. I think I'm ultimately going to end up closing this. We would need, let's see if there's any news coming out. That could maybe shift us, but this is the first day after at least a Canadian holiday. I don't think the Americans celebrate Family Day on this day. But this was a pre-plotted level. This blue line, I'm not sure what it's for, but it was on here prior. Key area. What the heck? But yeah, this is what this looks like. I was marking some of these up last night with someone, so these might just be completely out of sync, but this was a level we had marked up. came down to the level later today. Around 100 pips, I'm more willing to just close this position. I don't want to see too high of a retracement on it. Slave account's running well. I would love to be able to just close the account on this. Close the account on this master account, and we could just see it close on the slave account as well. Update it in the Discord, and everyone wins. Because we're just up about 3R. Now it's probably about 2 something. And it shows the percentage that I'm up here. So it's just about 2%. Just about 2%. Hold on a second. We'll be right back.
Caught like the 13, and then I got the 1.
Yeah, so this position, we're gonna figure out what we're gonna do with this. I'm gonna end up closing this probably soon. We'll just have to give this, we're gonna give this till 1 o'clock, but this is going to last, this candle is gonna close soon. This 1 hour candle release. Stop loss I'm gonna bring probably right up to the 127 level. Right up to the 127, and we'll look to see where we can re-enter. Where is a good spot to re-enter if we can pull back. Maybe we won't even get stopped out of the position. We'll see. We'll see what the market has to offer and what we'll take from it. I'll just go ahead and do that right now. I know if I do this, it's gonna mess up the risk to reward ratio. Or let's just see what it does, how correct it's gonna be. But I wanna secure, let's say about, that's just over 1 hour. That's 1R. We can do just about this. 83 is going to be like 1.5. And this will give us a double top. A double top or anything that goes past this high would be not too good in our favor. So I'm probably just going to do somewhere around here. Stop loss. Oh, I fucked up. Yeah, so let's go secure this.
Yeah, all that shit try me, I'm a sloppy nigga. Blue tips, that's for little slips. Got the toes in, sparking new.
Where'd that come from? I don't know why this thing still didn't update. There you go. So price ends up going higher and making any new high, any new structure high from this area. Anything past 208.20, then our stop loss get triggered. We'll make just about 2R. We'll see what the Discord says. Discord says our new stop loss is basically positive 93 pips. It's going to mess up the risk to reward ratio, but our risk is ultimately 0. Our risk is ultimately 0. So we'll just ride this trade out. And if anything, we'll look to get back in this trade later. On the next stream, we can come back and see what happened to this trade. This trade, I don't know if I can pull it up here. But the stop loss for this trade on the slave account is just updated too, which is amazing. There's some other opportunities like gold. Give this a minute. Gold. Wait a second. Yeah, you can go into the split thing. Oh, the computer fucking froze, bro. Shit doesn't even make no sense. I think this is weird. Yeah, I'll get this indicator over to TradingView as well. Just translate it over into PineScript. But you could see overall pressure is still headed more so towards the downside with a lot of these time frames of gold. Momentarily, still the metals are going to go up. if you think about it realistically, maybe about a month ago, this same price was about all-time highs. January 26th, all-time highs. The same price we're at now, a month ago. Not even a full month ago. So we still have a lot of room for this to consolidate and then still push higher with the other metals. But I'm not going to keep going on too long with this. We're going to look at the results later on and see exactly how this trade ended up working out. GJ. We're having a little turnaround. We are smashing into the supports now. But we're just looking to see how deep into the supports are we actually going to get. Is it just these two touches down, this double bottom? Or are we going to make new highs? If we make new highs, I'll get out. And I'll get back in at some point in time between that space of the 127 and 161.